Hello all. In this lecture, I will quickly show you the preliminary data collection for some example earthquakes. And I will use two earthquakes which were recorded in 2019. They were recorded in Pakistan, and I will use them as example earthquakes and show you some useful resources on internet from which you can check their data and you can download it and analyze it later to get some important insight about those particular earthquakes. So the first one is the magnitude 5.2 New Mirpur earthquake, and the event was occurred on 24th September 2019. Although it was a relatively low magnitude earthquake, but the damage it caused was more than what you can expect from a magnitude 5.2 earthquake on moment magnitude scale. So I will show you three references, and in fact you can use them for any example earthquake. The very first one is the USGS earthquake event page. USGS at this specific site, it creates an event page for all major earthquakes, and that event page contain all the information, in fact most of the information about that event. So we will go through the event page for this the 24th September 2019 earthquake, and then we will also go for iris event page for the same earthquake, and then we will also check the time history data from a ground motion database, this Wilbur 3, and it is maintained by iris. So I will go to the event page also for iris and then go to the time history data to show you some information about this earthquake. So the event summary is that it is the magnitude basically depends on the magnitude scale which you are using. So some sources record 5.6, some sources record 5.4 and 5.2 also. This is the basic event summary, and it is the epicenter was located on these coordinates, and USGS recorded the M magnitude equal to 5.2, but the IRIS station, the body wave magnitude scale, recorded a magnitude of 5.6. The depth of that event was 10 kilometers. It resulted in several casualties and injuries also, deaths and injuries. So let us quickly go to the event page for USGS, and then I will show you some of the useful information for that. So here you can see that this is the event page created by USGS, and you can go to earthquake.usgs.gov and you can search for any earthquake, and you will find the event page similar to that for each earthquake. So there are several information available for that. I will just go to only few of them. Interactive map for the intensity, some regional information, and maybe this also is the intensity map which is called shake map. If I click on this, it will take me to the actual epicenter and the the intensity which is experienced around that epicenter. I can go to this key symbol here to actually see the scale. So you can see here that this is the MMI scale, and it is from 1 to 10 plus. Red means 10 plus, but mostly our lines are close to epicenter are yellow and orange, which corresponds to an intensity of maybe 6 or 7 maybe, or 7 or 8. But as you go away from the epicenter, the lines are now green and then blue, corresponding to the intensity of maybe 5 or 4. So this data is this intensity is just based on the felt damages or experience of the actual people. It is not based on the equipment or instrumental records. You can have several layers of this. Currently I just opened the shake map MMI contours, but you can also have, for example, the peak ground acceleration PGA contours. And now you can again go to, you can say, the map, and here you can see that 20% of the G, which means 0.2 G, is the peak acceleration experienced around the epicenter. And as you are going away from the epicenter, the peak ground acceleration is reducing, 5% of G, 1% of G, and then even less than that. So you can go through all of these, you can say, layers and check the intensity. So let me go back, and I can also go for the regional information. It will give me the historical seismicity. All of the white dots here are the past recorded earthquake in the same region in which this earthquake occurred. So there are some other things also. For example, this one, shake map, it is also an intensity map which is developed based on the response of different people about the intensity felt. And you can see here that intensity is represented, uh, is recorded from 1 to maybe 10 plus according to MMI scale. And you can see that most of the area which is in yellow range, it is somewhere in intensity of 6 and 7 maybe. So this is about the event page, and there are a lot of other things also, but let's just restrain ourselves to only this. You can check all of these options, and you can also go to these waveforms to actually have the links for downloading the actual recorded history of the data of ground acceleration versus time graphs recorded at different seismic stations which are located near this particular earthquake epicenter by the IRIS and USGS also. So this is the IRIS seismic waveform data. If I click here, it will take me to the IRIS database for this particular earthquake. And also there is another resource here. If I go to IRIS database for this particular earthquake, it will give me a lot of information. It will show me the actual recorded time history, you can see here. And also I can download that. I can go to this Wilbur 3 to actually download the time series data for this event. If I click there, it will take me to this page where I can see the epicenter of this earthquake at the start. You can say the star is the epicenter, and all the triangles are the network of different seismic stations which are installed close to or in the whole region. So I can zoom in and I can see here that now this is the epicenter represented by this star, and there is a station recorded at Nellore. Here, this triangle, if I click on this, it will highlight this one. So all of this table is basically the seismic stations which are installed in the region, and they are arranged in a manner that the closest one is on the top, the second closest, and then third closest, and so on. So the closest one is this in Islamabad in Nellore. So let me click this NIL, and it will give me the actual recordings. It will show me the recordings at that particular location for this particular earthquake. You can use this IRIS, you can say, database. You can search also different events and come up with the page like this, and then get the data. If I click on this NIL Nellore, it will take me to this page, and here I can see the actual recordings. See, each recording station have 3 components. 2 are horizontal components and 1 is vertical. So BH1, BH2 are the 2 horizontal components, and BHZ is the vertical component. And at that particular recording station, there are 2 equipment installed. One is this one, and there is another one also. So I can click on any of it to get the data or show the data. So let me select this one, and then I can see the recorded, you can say the time history values for both of the horizontal components and the vertical components for that particular earthquake. So I have to select the range. So the time range is from 1 minute before P arrival until 10 minutes after P arrival. So I can modify that range also. Maybe you can say 0 minute before P arrival, which means just start the data from the P arrival, and then maybe 2 minutes or maybe 5 minutes after the S arrival. So I can click on update and the images will be updated now. So I can download that. I can request the download also, visualize also, and download also. For download, you have this option. The request data option is there. So you can select the network, the channel, which is by default selected because we just come from the USGS database and come to this page. We can select on this request data, and here we can give the time range and the output format. We can go for simple ASCII format, which means you can just open it in the text file and then plot it yourself also. And some other option about whether the files should be bundled or it should be separate files. So you send that request, and then you will get an email or a link to download that data. So any data can be downloaded for any earthquake and then later can be analyzed to get an insight about the ground shaking. So let me go back now to the presentation, and from the same sources I gathered the data for this 24 September event. So this is the MMI intensity map. I have shown you that already. The PGA contour map, this is the legend. So you can, the color can be translated to any PGA value. The values are shown here also. This is the intensity map from the same USGS event page, and the points are the locations at which this earthquake was felt, and that intensity is shown by the color. Similarly, this one is also an intensity map. So 400 responses, 385 plotted in 82 cities. So based on those responses, this intensity map is plotted. The recorded time history data, I have already shown you. The recording station is installed in Nellore by Iris, and the data can be downloaded. One more source of the data can be Mangla Dam, which was located at a distance of 10.7 km from the epicenter. So the dam itself also had a seismometer installed, so their data can also be obtained and analyzed. The dam structure is reported to remain safe during that particular event. So from IRIS database, the closest station was installed at Nellore, and the data can be downloaded. So here the same page, I have downloaded the data, and now I am just plotting it. So this is the BH1, which means the first horizontal component, but this is ground displacement. So a very low number is like 2 millimeters, maybe 3 millimeter maximum. Similarly here, this is velocity for the first component, horizontal velocity, then this is acceleration. Similarly, this is for second component, first displacement, then velocity, and then acceleration. For vertical component also, this is displacement, this is velocity, and then acceleration. So data can be downloaded and plotted yourself also, although from here I am just, I think, taking the screenshots from the online system. Some of the damage pictures which was experienced during this this earthquake, although it was a low magnitude earthquake, but it caused some severe damages at locations which have non-engineered construction built on slopes, maybe the masonry structures, mostly unreinforced masonry, you can see here. It also caused damage to road infrastructure. The slope stability issues or the earthquake triggered failures of slopes, you can see here. Another picture. So this picture shows the damage to masonry infill walls in one of the local universities there, and you can see here the diagonal pattern of cracking, which is caused by lateral shaking. So you can expect that the diagonal compression struts, they fail, and the masonry panels, they have diagonal cracks in almost 45-degree angles. Some of the minor damage to the building, you can see here cracks in masonry infill walls. So sometimes the brick tiles, they just fall off. Some construction which was not you can say a proper engineered construction, some damages to boundary walls or some unreinforced stone masonry walls. Some improperly supported overhangs, they damaged. One example is here. The non-structural damage, damage to the contents of the building is also observed. So let's go to the second event, and that is the magnitude 6.1. This event, which was recorded in 20th December 2019. It originated from Hindu Kush region, which is famous for mostly deep earthquakes. So the depth of this earthquake is 210 kilometers, very deep. The epicenter is somewhere here in the Hindu Kush region. So although the magnitude is moderate level earthquake, but since the depth is 200, more than 200 kilometers, so the seismic waves were not strong enough to cause significant damage in this earthquake. So this is the basic features or event summary taken from the same sources which I show you. Some sources also recorded it as a 6.4 magnitude earthquake. Maybe they are using a different magnitude scale. So this is the historical seismicity of the Hindu Kush region. You can see here that most of the earthquakes in this region are in this range, which is the deep earthquake 70 to 300 kilometers, and this is just one of them. One of those deep earthquakes having a depth of 212 kilometers. So the magnitude is in this range 6 to 7. This is the MMI intensity map for this earthquake, and you can see here that felt intensity is very small because of a big depth. Similarly, the PGA values are very small, 1 to 2% of G only. And in Pakistan, you can see here that it is observed at these locations, and they rank the MMI intensity from maybe 4 or 5 for this earthquake. So this is also an intensity map. Here also the city size is also shown here, basically the population. In this case, the closest time history, the station for time history was installed in Kabul. But it was also very far from the actual epicenter, 200 kilometers from epicenter. So you can expect that very low values of PGA and other intensity parameters will be recorded. So very low values of PGA and spectral acceleration values are recorded here. So let's see just that data. You can see here the acceleration is very small, 0.0033 times of G. This is one horizontal component. It is this is acceleration, then can be converted to velocity and displacement also. So just 0.1 centimeter, very small shaking, the peak shaking. You can also plot the response spectrum for these ground motions, the acceleration, velocity and displacement response spectrum. This basically gives us the peak values of the response of structures having different time periods. So given the time period of a structure, let's say 2 seconds, you can quickly pick the peak number which is experienced by that structure during this particular earthquake event in that particular direction. You can repeat that process for other components, the other horizontal component and also for the vertical component. The Fourier spectra and power spectra gives you the frequency content of that ground motion. So you can see what frequencies are mostly contributing in that particular shaking. And also there are some other ground motion parameters which you can extract if you get the actual recording. So for example, maximum velocity, maximum acceleration, maximum displacement, and there is a list of other derived parameters. So I will not go into their detail, but they will also give us some useful insight into the intensity and other parameters of characteristics of that particular earthquake. This is for the second horizontal component, same data. And then I also have for vertical component. So BHZ is basically the vertical component. So vertical acceleration, vertical velocity and vertical displacement, up down. So the same data is now repeated for that vertical component also. The same list of ground motions extracted from the vertical time history record of that earthquake. So I will end this session here, and I hope that this is just an attempt to show you the references or resources which are available online, and then you can explore them further. Another important thing at the end I should tell you is about the Iris earthquake browser. Iris earthquake browser. Please just Google it, and then you will be taken to a very useful online web page. In fact, the web app which interactively shows you the historical data at different locations of the world. So Iris earthquake browser. There are some other online tools also created by Iris. So I would recommend you strongly to check this website, www.iris.edu. They have a huge resource of learning about the earthquake science. In fact, their Facebook page and their YouTube is also very helpful, and they have created very accurate and very useful animations which can give us some basic concept about seismology. So please go through their Facebook page also, as well as their YouTube channel. I think its name is Iris Earthquake Science. Iris Earthquake Science. So please check that, and it will be all full of the learning resources and animations and short videos in which they will be explaining different concepts of basic seismology and some information about the earthquake phenomena. So on this note, I think I will end this session, and I will leave it to you to explore some of the useful online resources to collect and analyze the seismic data. So thank you, and I see you in next session. Till then, stay safe and thank you.